Hi guys, welcome to DTM's Reef. Today we're going to be siliconing the baffles into the sump. It's the sump's turn to get the treatment today. We're almost ready to get the beast wet, so today we're going to be siliconing the baffles in the sump. I'm going to show you the equipment that I've got here. We're going to put it in, put the baffles in dry. Hope when we've got everything, it's got plenty of room and we know what we're doing, we're going to glue it, silicone it rather, all in. I'm going to go with a design that I've used in the past for the previous tank that I did. I'm going to have my overflow on this side. We're going to flow under, over, into the skimmer area, and then we're going to flow over into either a refugium and a return, or maybe I might just make the skimmer area bigger and do a refugium in there with the skimmer and work out some way of making some kind of media basket or something like that with egg crate, but we'll see what's what when we get it all in. I've cleaned the tank on the inside. I used a bit of vinegar and water just to get all of the muck off and stuff like that, and we'll get all the equipment in and we'll see how it goes. So what we've got first is we've got the J-Cord DC6000 return pump. Oh, that's the overflow return pump, so that goes in the return area. Luckily it's got a really small footprint for the size of what it is, so that's nice, so we don't need a right lot of space there, which is good. I'm happy about that. Overflow's coming down in there, so that don't need to be too big, just big enough to get my filter socks in, but I am thinking, rather than going with filter socks, I am thinking about building some kind of media rack to sit inside with floss on the top, and then I can change the floss. Floss is cheaper than filter socks, and in my opinion it does a better job of polishing your water. Filter socks seem to be a bit of a nitrate build-up place, nitrate dump. But if we can get some filter floss just on the top where the pipes come in, it'll quieten it down. Not only that, we can change the filter floss out every couple of days, keep it nice. Okay, so we've got the DC6000 return pump. We have a Bubble Magus Curve 5 skimmer. Put the wires over the side because they're not going to be in the tank, obviously. So I think we might put that on its side like so. And we've got a Skims Monster media reactor, and that's just going to go at the side. There's also a small pump that comes with that, which is the Heim Compact 1000, which is this little beast here. So that needs to go in there as well. So again, we'll put the wires out. I'll stand up. I'll put this in. Which side should we have it in? Try to make the best of the wires, so bear with me guys, just so I get everything in where I want it. So what we need to do is we need to figure out a way that all of this equipment is going to fit inside this sump using the baffles that I've made. I've made 3 of the baffles the same height, one of the baffles lower. So one of the baffles I've created for the skimmer area is perfect height for the Bubble Magus Curve 5 skimmer to operate. If I need to raise it a little bit, I can do. So we'll go with that. So let's get the first baffle in, which is one of the taller baffles, and that's going to be for the overflow. So we'll just move, sorry about this, I need 5 pairs of hands, more fingers and thumbs, get that out of the way. So the first baffle is going in. It's dry, I'm not siliconing anything just yet. So we're going to have that in there. I didn't think this through now because I've nothing to put spacers in there, so I think what I'll just use a bit of blue roll to prop things up, because I don't want that to be so far down, but I do want the water to come in and I want it to go under this baffle. We don't want it to be too high off the bottom, a couple of centimetres if that, but we also don't want to make the baffle level with the top of the tank, because if the return pump fails and the tank overflows, we want it to be able to overflow into the sections. If that bottom bit got clogged for any reason, it can overflow, and we're not going to get mess all over the carpet, because the boss would absolutely kill me. So I think that'll be okay for the overflow, and that we only need it small. We'll have plenty of flow going through there, and like I said, I can build a media rack to go in there and sit some floss on top, maybe even have some carbon or something underneath, but then again I do have my reactor, so we'll see where we go with that depending on what I end up putting in there. So I think that gap will be enough. It's about a 2 centimetre gap under the bottom of there. So the next baffle is the smaller baffle. I believe it's a 10-inch high baffle for the skimmer. That one's going to go all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to leave a gap of about 2 centimetres again. Well, a little bit more, maybe 1.5 inch gap. Like so. So that one's going to go like that. So right up to that is going to be sitting the skimmer. I'll try and find the best way of doing this. The skimmer and the media reactor. And I think the behind compact I will actually put down there in the corner, and it's nice and out of the way. And I will put the reactor right next to it, and that gives me a nice edge where they both the reactor and the skimmer both have the same clearance there, so that's okay. So the next baffles, I think what we'll do, we've got the over and under. I think we'll have the same again, and it's a bit of a bubble trap because we know that these produce a lot of micro bubbles and we don't want them coming back up into the display. So we've got another 2 smaller sections. So I think what we'll do is we'll do it the other way around. Try to think of which way around to do this. Is that another small one? So I've got another 10-inch baffle. So I think what we might do is exactly the same again, guys. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll have that one suspended up a little bit. I'll just put that one down. If you can hear a whirring noise in the background, it's just my fan because it's bloody cold today. So I've got a fan heater running. So I think what we'll do, if we put the larger one in first and prop it up a couple of centimetres again, it doesn't need to be much. And then the last one, which is the smaller 10-inch baffle, can go all the way to the bottom. If it's going to stand up on its own. Okay, so that's it. So what we've got, guys, is the flow comes down into the tank, it goes under the first baffle, over the second baffle, into this area, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this as one big area where I can have the skimmer and the reactor both running, and I can have this area here. And what I think I'm going to do, I've seen a couple of videos where people have started using the bio home media or similar product, and I think I'm going to make some kind of egg crate media basket, and I'm going to put some either some ceramic media or some bio home media inside there, just so that I can get a little bit more surface area for bacteria to grow. There is going to be plenty of rock inside the system, but the more I can get, the better it is. I don't really want to go with a refugium, but I could always do that if I needed to. I could always put another small baffle in there and have a little refugium if I needed to. So that's what we'll have. So we've got a bubble trap there and a bubble trap there. So I think that that will be perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the equipment out now, and then I'm going to quickly silicone them. So this is the silicone that I'm using. If you can see, it's HA6 marine grade RTV silicone sealant. It's black. It's got a lifespan of 25 years. It's suitable to use from -60 degrees Celsius to 100 plus 180. I'm not sure how to do the conversion into Fahrenheit for you guys across the pond, but I'm sure you'll know. It's UV resistant, it's permanently flexible, and it hardens pretty quick. So the good advantage of this, because the new house isn't quite ready for the tank to go in yet, even though the tank's ready for the new house, it gives it a couple of weeks to cure, so I'm happy with that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the baffle in place where it is and just silicone up the sides, because it's less messy and it's a lot easier. So you start off with a little bead at the bottom, you squeeze the gun and you run it up. While squeezing, gently. You don't need to squeeze hard. You can always go back over. Remember, this is the sump, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. We'll go over that little bottom bit again because it didn't go quite right. This is going to look like a dog's dinner when I finished it, but do you know what, guys? It'll work. I have done this before, but I did it with clear silicone, not the black. Always have a little bit of a rag to one side handy because it is quite messy. Same again, just squeeze, get your bead going, run up slowly, there's no rush. If you run out of trigger, just stop, squeeze again, and off you go. And it's that simple. When you're working in a sump like this, because it's not on a display, I tend to go with the more the merrier. It don't matter to me if it's messy, as long as it holds and it does the job that I want it to do. And see, I've made my first mistake and I've made this gap too small. And then what you can do to make it a little bit neater, what I do is I get a little bit of tissue and what you can do is make it a little bit neater, get yourself a little bit of tissue, and I use a long screwdriver, and all you want to do is get a little bit of tissue, screwdriver in the end, get it to a nice point like that, and then you can run it up the silicone to make it nice and even. Just like that, guys. And I don't mind if it looks a little bit messy, it's going to hold, it's going to do the job that I want it to do. Lovely job. So that's the first side done. We'll get rid of that. Screwdriver down. And on the next one. What some people do is some people will actually run up the seam of the baffle before they put it in, but I did that last time and it is one hell of a messy job, so I don't bother. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm just going to finish going around all these. Now you know how to do it, just up the seam like that. I'm just going to go around and quickly fast forward this now, make it quicker, and you'll see it all come together. Okay guys, so that's the sump done. Sorry the camera moved halfway through, it fell over, so it's just on a little tripod, but for some reason it decided to fall over. But that's basically the sump done, that's the baffles in. So we've got overflow, skimmer reactor refugium area, this is where the business happens basically, return pump, back up to the tank. That's it. So that's it for this video guys. I'm going to leave it to cure for maybe a week or so, maybe less than that because I'm an impatient bugger, but as soon as it's ready I'll give it a water test and we'll show you how it's going to run, how it's going to work, and that'll be it. And hopefully by then we'll almost be ready to get the beast up and running. So I'll see you in a week or so guys. Might not be, like I said, might not be as long, I'm impatient. So thanks for watching. If it's helped, great. Any comments you have for me, it's all welcome, and thanks a lot. See you later guys.